Good evening, everyone. Dr. the Honorable Nyan Gadsby Dolly, Minister of Community Development, Culture and the Arts. The Honorable Darrell Matthew, Minister of Sport and Culture, Antigua and Barbuda. Members of the Cabinet of Trinidad and Tobago and other ministers from other countries in the Caribbean. The Honorable Nadine Stewart, Secretary for Tourism, Culture and Transportation in the Tobago House of Assembly. Members of Parliament, Dr. Douglas Slater, Deputy Secretary General of the CARICOM Secretariat, members of the Diplomatic Corps, members of the host country management, all CARIFESTA delegations, and especially our Trinidad and Tobago delegation, specially invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the substantive Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Rowley, who's on Barbados, it is my distinct pleasure to give this address. I'm told that the Caribbean Festival of Creative Arts, or CARIFESTA as it's called, emerged from a collaborative appeal from artists within our region, who at the time participating in a writers and artists convention in Guyana in 1970. From its inception, the main considerations for the staging of CARIFESTA were, one, that the festival should be inspirational. Was this festival inspirational? It most certainly was. And provide artists with the opportunity to discuss their creative expressions among themselves. Two, that it should allow the people of the region to be exposed to the many and varying Caribbean art forms. That it should be entertaining on a scale and in a fashion that would commend itself to the Caribbean people. It is noteworthy that the inaugural CARIFESTA in Georgetown in 1972, 47 years ago, attracted many regional artists from the Caribbean and Latin America and celebrated the ethnic and cultural diversity of the Caribbean. The festival today continues to celebrate our diversity and our unique Caribbean identity. As described on the CARIFESTA website, it is a vision of the peoples with roots deep in Asia, Europe, and Africa, coming together to perform their art forms and embrace literature inspired by the Caribbean's own peculiar temperament. CARIFESTA has always sought to depict the life of the people of our region, our heroes, traditions, beliefs, and creative expressions, thus illustrating the similarities and differences of the people of our region, and creating a climate in which art can flourish so that artists could be encouraged to return to their homelands and awaken a regional identity. This CARIFESTA V was first held in Trinidad and Tobago in 1992. It was a watershed event in the development and promotion of the arts and culture in the region. Since then, Trinidad and Tobago has been the host country for CARIFESTA on 3 other occasions, 1995, 2006, and this year, 2019, and we welcome the opportunity. From all reports, CARIFESTA 14, Trinidad and Tobago 2019, has been one of the most productive, if not the most prolific, editions of this magnificent festival to date, with exceptionally high creativity and innovation and record investment by the private sector. In fact, I'm amazed at the participation of the private sector. Visitors to this CARIFESTA 14 were treated with a grand market of over 300 booths, including country districts featuring iconic facades from each country. You'll have seen some of them, the cathedral from Antigua, the Grand Market from Guyana, from each country replicated to bring Caribbean architecture into one space. A fashion district with over 30 entrepreneurs. Island craft featuring 60 regional and local artisans. A book fair, a Caribbean food court, which apparently was in so much demand, it was a little too small. In fact, we might need a bigger venue for the next CARIFESTA. A trade zone and a buyer's market with 80 booths, a breakout stage for daily local and regional performances, the Angostura Rum Shop, a good lime in place, and the Greening booth. The performances stretched over cultural centers all over Trinidad and Tobago. There were live performances by all 20 participating countries. At the Grandstand Queen's Park right here, at the National Academy for the Performing Arts across the road, at the South Academy for the Performing Arts, Queen's Hall, Central Bank, Naparima Bowl, just to name a few, as well as a suite of literary engagements from open mic readings to classes with award-winning writers and a book fair in partnership with the Bocas Lit Fest. There was also a special CARIFESTA Film Festival, including outdoor and indoor screenings, panel discussions, and premieres of 3 films selected by our own Ministry of Culture, together with the Arts Film Grant in partnership with the Trinidad and Tobago Film Festival. There were visual arts exhibitions featuring our finest local and regional artists at the National Museum and Art Gallery, at Napa, and at the Central Bank, among other events. Worthy of special mention were the symposia entitled Journey Around Myself, with discussions at UWI aimed at raising our collective cultural consciousness. A youth village, which offered a miniature version of the festival, specifically tailored for youths at Bishop Anstey High. Various Best Village competitions, community festivals, and Tobago was not left out. There was a Tobago CARIFESTA Village, which opened from August 19th to 21st in Tobago. Activities in Tobago included a Salaka feast and a Castara bonfire, and many other cultural exchanges and island vibes daily at the Scarborough Esplanade. But I want to talk to you about this CARIFESTA's main achievements, because, ladies and gentlemen, with all the things that are happening in this country, this was a wonderful festival. There was record attendance at the Grand Market, sometimes in excess of 35,000 persons per day, and it was all free. There were consistently high-quality cultural performances throughout. One of the things I heard was the consistent, wonderful quality of the performances. I myself witnessed a few. There were over 35 locally produced signal and niche events with almost 100% audience attendance. Significant opportunities for local and regional entrepreneurs to expose themselves to new markets. There were over 250 young and not so young volunteers giving national service. And most importantly, or equally importantly, our local private sector stepped up, and we had donations to this festival from the local private sector in the form of cash and kind in the sum of $5 million. I thought that was amazing. To sum it up, this CARIFESTA 14 was a resounding success. It was incident-free, highest quality, well attended. It was a safe place for your family. Building on this festival, the government of Trinidad and Tobago will convert our experiences here into tangible actions affecting our national policies for the creative arts, including the development of appropriate fiscal and monetary incentives for our creative sector. In particular, we will use what we have learned here to revitalize our rural and urban communities with cultural showcases and unique community-oriented festivals. On behalf of the government of Trinidad and Tobago, on behalf of the substantive Prime Minister, I would like to thank each and every one involved in making CARIFESTA 14 the outstanding success that it has been. Special commendation must go to the Minister and staff of the Ministry of Community Development, Culture and the Arts. Let's give them a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. They all worked tirelessly over the last 2 years. This took 2 years in planning to make CARIFESTA 14 a genuine Caribbean success story. For me, This has been a unifying event for our country and our region. And it is obvious to me that from the overwhelming positive response from our people and the participation of our Caribbean brothers and sisters, that everyone has enjoyed this festival tremendously. To those of you who are returning home to your respective countries, I wish you a safe journey. And to everyone, I wish you God's blessings. Thank you and good night.